All right, guys, I made it back in the Adventure Mobile. So, man, that was a fun trip. I really like hanging out there at the Finger Lake I was at. That was a lot of fun. I got to give a shout out to two young college students, Hobart students that were fishing at the dock there. Man, they were doing really well. It was a lot of fun talking to them, and they're going to be biologists doing important work for the future. Best of luck to you guys with your college careers and beyond. But anyway, yeah, it was a lot of fun. That's a beautiful place. Had a lot of fun catching fish there. I never been there before, so I had to kind of work up a game plan. And a shout out to Travis for the 2.50 tubes in that dark melon that I got from him last year. That was a big deal. That helped quite a bit. And yeah, it was a lot of fun up there. So made it back, had to drive through a lot of rain, but it was a wonderful trip. That town is a wonderful town. The people are so kind and polite, and it was just such a pleasant, I mean, yeah, we had that cold front come ripping through, and had a day where I was having to fish in that rain and stuff, but it was really nice. I had a good time up there. Hey, thanks for watching the video. And guys, it's just getting good right now. Summer's here. Get out there and fish and go have some fun. But anyway, check out this video. Hope you enjoy it. Once again, shout out to the two students from Hobart College there for talking some good fishing and some of the research they're doing. This one guy was doing some research on some gobies. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Gonna try to catch some fish here and hopefully have a good time. The weather's kind of crazy, so we'll see what we're gonna catch. I'm throwing my usual stuff, usual setups. I'm starting off with a little jackhammer. We'll see how this goes. One of these stealth blades, jackhammer stealth blade. White's a good color for this. It's just been raining all day. The water's still pretty clear, but you know how it is with white. You can use it pretty much all the time. Look at that thing. And with that clear blade, if you don't throw these stealth blades, guys, give them a shot. Had a couple of bumps. Back home I catch big crappie on these 16-17 inch crappie. There's crappie in here. I try to do some research on what kind of fish are in here. There's like giant lake trout, pike, pickerel, largemouth, smallmouth, yellow perch. But a lot of that I need a boat to get way the heck out there. Yeah, the cool thing about these stealth blades is they disperse all that water. They got all that vibrating, but they don't have that. I mean, they have a little bit of a flash, But the fish are like, what the heck is that coming through here? Anytime I see these on eBay, I pick them up if they're a good price. Because if not, man, they are expensive. The blades can be sensitive from what people say, but I've never had an issue with them being plastic. Don't have any issues with them. It's kind of a crazy setup they got going here. Am I too old to climb up there? Man, these rocks are perfect for little rock bass, smallmouth especially. Man, check that out. Whew. Guys, these little stealth blades are just epic. Out there at the end of that gets down to like 30 feet. I'm claiming I caught him. I'm claiming I caught him. All right. Just lost one there, guys. So I'm fishing this little stretch of the bank here with the Thunderbug. I just didn't set the hook hard enough on him. All right, boys, we're hooked up. We got a good one here. Oh, and he broke the line. I cannot believe I couldn't get him in. So I rigged up another Thunderbug setup. This one's got the Hot Shot minnow on it. Just running it along the rocks here. There we go. Whew. Are we gonna get done? All right, boys, we're hooked up. Get this guy in here. It's barely hooked. Bank flip. There we go. Check that out. On the woolly booger, or excuse me, the Thunderbug. There we go. Let's take a look at this dude and then we'll let him go. There he is right there. Man, that's a gorgeous fish. There you go, buddy. Okay, that's it. Right there. X-Zone Lures on a Thunderbug, the Hot Shot Minnow. So I've been running along these rocks. Got it in that corner. And then this corner. Or I mean this section. Okay guys, this is day 2. Scoping out this river here. Pitching a swim jig because we got a bunch of cabbage. So far so good. And it's a nice little river, but the cold front came through. So we're sitting like in the 60s. One tip with a swim jig, guys, if you have a lot of cabbage like this, you can always swim it on the surface like a topwater. So I'm using white because this is kind of murky from all the rain. This is one of these Booyah Mobsters. Oops, I had to thread that one down because I almost threw it right into this crazy wind. You never know what you're gonna get. You can kind of see it down there. I've had some chasers, some followers. I ran a jackhammer through there. Nothing was doing. No interest in that. Little bit of cabbage right there. Yeah, this is a pretty cool little spot. There we go, had to short arm that one again. Yeah, there was a ton of rain yesterday. I squeezed some, well, you could see in the video, I got squeezed some fishing in between all that. This is one of the tributaries into the lake. But it looked really good, so I figured I'd come in here and do some fishing. Alright, gonna couple more casts through here and then I'm gonna head to the main lake. Alright guys, that looks shallow but it's pretty deep. So I'm running a swim jig through here with a spine crawl trailer. It's a Beast Coast little Magnum. Looks just like a crawfish. I could see little gobies scurrying around down there. I've got some tubes I can try in a little bit. But there you can see it. Man, those spine craws are so underrated from Yum. So right out there, it's 14, 15 feet. So I'm trying to bring it up the ledge. See if I can get any schoolers or anybody cruising by to take a swipe at it. So I'm throwing this one on the Icon 6.8 from St. Croix. Alright guys, I've been making my way up and down this wall here. Right now I've got a hammer trap. No sniffs. With all that rain yesterday and a nasty cold front came through, I mean, I never wear a hoodie really past April, and I've got one on now. It's one of my sleeveless hoodies, my Cabela's. There's just nothing doing. I've tried everything. Deep diving crankbaits, jerk baits, inline spinners, jigs, tubes. So now I'm trying to hammer trap. Yeah, I can see these little gobies zipping around down there. I guess the gobies got into the Finger Lakes a few years back. That's kind of sad. Alright. I'm gonna move spots, try my luck somewhere else. Alright boys, we're hooked up right here on the swim jig. Bank flip. What is it? Oh, it's a nice largie. Ooh, check that out. Not bad right there. That's a good fish. All right, buddy, northern strain. Let's get you back in there. Ugh. All right, guys, there it is right there. It's the Beast Coast Little Magnum. Shorten the skirt up, trim the weed guard, and I've got it paired up with a Yum spine craw. Man, this thing was just deadly. See if we can get some more. Got this on the Icon, the 6.8 St. Croix Icon. So I've got 12-pound braid to a 14-pound fluoro leader, all sunline. So I'm just hopping it along down there. The rocks kind of extend out. But then for the most part, with a lot of things, with the jigs, I just swim it. Just swim it and then kill it. Swim it and kill it. Hop it and kill it. But I'm usually swimming everything. That's how I caught that guy. Really in here I wouldn't need a weed guard because it's pretty much all rocks, but I felt a tap, 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 tap. You can kind of see down there, it's pretty clear. There are some deep spots. Guys, there we go. I forgot to turn the camera on. Just right here in the rocks. Let's get it back in there. So I got this one on a wacky rig. Not too shabby, right? Alright, so had the wacky rig running here, and I didn't get the camera turned on. I was trying not to get sawed off in the rocks. Using a Crush City worm for this. This one here, I've got a Yum on here, Yum Dinger. The other one I cast out there had a pike come by. I saw him and just boom, instantly snap Ola the line. He was way too big. 14-pound fluoro leader. I mean, this thing would have been a 10-pound pike easy. Alright guys, that was the, we'll try this side over here. That was one of those Crush City pig sticks. Now I got a Yum Dinger on here. I don't see the volume of fish on this side. It's shallower. I see them more on that side, but the wind is also a factor over there. Ooh, what was that? Oh, those are the gar spawning. I don't want a gar to get it, but just in case it is a bass. As soon as I'm done with this little worm activity, I'm going to throw some stuff for deeper water out there. Alright guys, here we go. I'm going to bomb this. It's kind of like a bluegill color, golden shiner. It's the original chatterbait with a Berkley power stinger on the back end of it. We'll let that get way down there. Then we'll bring her in. The thing is, these crazy rocks makes it tricky. Try to land something. Alright guys, bombing the old rattle trap, Bill Lewis rattle trap in the Smalley Magic color. Got this one on the 6/8 mags, 14-pound fluoro leader with a 12-pound Sunline braid, both Sunline products. Yeah, that looks good in the water. Ooh, all that sparkle on there. We got to get one. My gosh, guys, I've been just chucking this rattle trap and just nothing. Yeah, I can see fish swimming down there. They look like bass. I see some carp, I see catfish. I see a catfish right down there. Oh no, that's a carp. Man, look at the shine on that thing. See, there's a bass cruising. Oh, that's a... He's got a red tail. That's one. That's like a red horse or a whatchamadinger. It's a type of shiner. Sorry, I had to get that unkinked. It's one of the types of shiners. It's a red tip shiner or something. Well, all right, time to switch it up. All right, guys, I'm over at this other point here. I keep getting these fish coming out trying to swipe this hair jig. They just take a swipe at it, but they don't. I think some of those are trout. You know how trout will come up and nose a bait? So I think that's what that is. Anyway, some bomb casting around, checking out this point. I never really fished it, this one yet. There we go, boys. There we go. Right out of the gate, just bang. All right, let's check it out. On the hair jig, man, he just clocked it. One of my homemade hair jigs. There he is right there. Gorgeous fish. There you go, buddy. On the Goofy hair jig, check that out. Purple and pink. He was just cruising right along there. And it was on the fall too. Yeah, tomorrow I gotta head back to Iowa, back to home base. It's been a fun trip. All right, boys, we're hooked up again. There we go. Oop, there he goes. Oh, he made it out. Whew. On the hair jig. Check that out, another one. That was a largemouth. Boy, just in a spot right there, I can see fish swimming by. It's always like on the paws when I get them. So 2 on the goofy hair jig. And of course I gotta put eyes on it, eyes on everything. There it is, right there. A combo of purple and pink. I guess I could try the tube in here. That little smaller tube. That dark melon color. I gotta try that one next. Throwing this on the usual setup. Mag 6/8. Well, I can see all kinds of fish moving down there. Big ones, little ones. There goes one right down there. I don't know if you could, if it's not gonna be able to show up on camera, but okay, guys, I'm working the 2.75, or maybe it's a 2.5 inch tube. I think it's a 2.5 in that dark melon, just kind of cracking it, not too hard. Oh, I was gonna say no snags until now. Yeah, these rocks are really forgiving. There it is, right there. All right, let's try this other side. Ooh! I see one down there. He went and looked at it, but that was all he did. there I had a hit. I had 2 hits. Sometimes I think it's those little gobies hitting it. Or it could be small bass because I felt a think, 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 think. All right, boys, we're hooked up again. Let's check this guy out. Watch your rocks. Ooh, bank flip. This one I got him on the tube. Let's see if I can get him out. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Not a bad fish right there. Check that out. He's bleeding a little bit. All right, let's get him back in there. So that's it. Get Bit Baits. It's a dark melon tube right there. Not too shabby. Alright guys, there's a whole bunch of people have showed up out here, walking along the docks and around and the boat ramp. Once I whacked a couple of those bass, they showed up wondering what I was using, how I was doing it. So the other little sneaky thing I do is in here, is in the tube, I squirt some Pro-Cure in there and just let it ooze in there and fill up. The other thing is you got to check your line, so because it can fray. There's a lot of zebra mussels down there, not just the rocks. But so I pitch a tube out there, just give it a quick crack. Sometimes I'll give it 2 cracks and I just let it sit there, and they'll swim over and take a look at it, and then I'll tighten it up just a little bit, and then that's when I'll feel like the tugs, if I got one. So I've never fished this spot until this evening, so I kind of had to figure it all out. But it's kind of like the other ones, you know, you just got to work around the rocks. It seems like if I run from here over right into this zone is where I get most of the interest. Alright guys, I switched to a bigger tube and in a lighter color. Alright guys, there it is right there. Check out that tube. The Pro-Cure's oozing out of the back of it. So we're just gonna chuck this around and See if we can get another one. Just keep working it through the rocks here. Seems like the sweet spot is like right in this zone. So what I'll do is I'll, just like I was doing before, just give it a quick crack. When I throw it down there, I let it sit for a bit in case they swim over it to look at it. They'll get a whiff of that ProCure. So then I just give it a quick crack. Sometimes I'll do 2 in a row because it does like a weird swirling motion when it falls. Okay guys, just a quick recap before I head out. So the tube, so as usual I'm fishing braid to fluoro. Upgraded the fluoro leader. It's what, like 3 feet. It's 14-pound Sunline, and then I use the 12-pound Sunline braid mainline. I go to Get Bit Baits. Tubes have all kinds of them. I used to go to Venom Lures before they went out of business. I stocked up on a whole bunch of their tubes, so you can go check them out. But Get Bit Baits has got the jig heads, everything you need. And so then you pick the colors you want. Dark melon's good, black, any of the craw colors, this kind of light colored one. And then you just kind of pitch it, bounce it along, drag it, crack it like I was doing. But just let it sit there for a minute or two, kind of like when you do a Senko. You know, you throw a Senko out, crack it, and then let it sit, count to 8, and then crack it again, or drag it. So that's what I do with this. And a lot of times when it's just sitting there is when they just inhale it. So that's a quick tutorial on that. I know most people know how to fish a tube, but I've got some good buddies of mine that are always curious about how I fish a tube. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, you just gotta, as with any of them, any of the techniques, you just gotta fish it and fish it and fish it and fish it. All right guys, thanks for hanging out with me for this adventure. That's gonna wrap it up for my adventure here on this Finger Lake. Man, I gotta head back home, but man, I had a good time fishing this lake. Very interesting trying to figure it all out and all that good stuff. I put in a lot of hours today trying to get things rolling here. Such a cool place. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, and until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.